Hello everyone, this is Machine, back for another review. It's been quite a while. I haven't really been too interested in doing reviews up until now, or just right now. But I thought I would do a map review for two different matches. Houston Outlaws versus the Washington Justice, and the Atlanta Reign versus the Houston Outlaws. The reason I wanted to do this is because I'm somewhat worried about the Outlaws. Their match against the Justice, obviously it was a 3-0, but the same was said against them against the Reign. It was an 0-3 for them, so they're currently at a 0 map differential. And I'm worried that with the Justice being as weak of a team as they are, that Houston is going to struggle against even the Mayhem, who's been doing just okay, but they've started to look like they're back on their feet. And they're going to struggle against the Gladiators as well, who've looked pretty solid. So, we're going to look at both of the payload maps. So, Route 66 for this one, and then we're going to be looking at Rialto for the other match. So the most important thing to me is that we notice the compositions of the Outlaws. Oh, that's a little too far. Okay. So the most important thing to me is that we look at the compositions between the two teams and the composition of the Outlaws right now. Outlaws are playing this dive style that we've seen a lot in APAC, but we've also seen it has transferred over to the NA region. So they've got Tracer, and interestingly enough, they have Soldier. I don't know if this is because they thought that the Justice was going to come out on like a shield comp with an Orisa, because there's been, Kai of the Atlanta Reign said they play the Soldier against, I believe he said they play the Soldier against the shield comps because it put a lot of damage down onto the tanks, and the healing from the Soldier, given that there's only Zen and a Brig for the healing backline, the Soldier can provide some extra healing utility. But besides that, Outlaws are playing like standard meta. Just the only difference being, you can see between the two comps, that Happy is not on the Sombra, he's on this Soldier. So it's interesting to me how the composition that they played throughout this match, which is around this comp, maybe Happy swaps onto the Sombra for different maps. You'll see the distinct change in the composition when they play against Atlanta. But we're going to watch through this map first and see how well they play it. Just a lot of poking right now. Probably gonna let this cart get around to this bend, and then they might have Dante. Looks like Dante's looking for a blink. Maybe they're trying to coordinate a dive. Oh yeah, you've got John up top. But the Justice, so they. Okay, so the Justice kill Piggy. I'd like to go back and look at how Piggy died there. Oh, he got hacked. I was gonna say, did he not have his boosters? He got hacked. So a good hack from Assassin. They demac him and they kill him. Now it's a 5v5. And I feel like this is the point where the Justice should go. Like, Piggy's down. The Justice need to dive onto the back line. They have an advantage. They don't need to move cart, and Piggy's already back. They've lost the advantage in numbers now. And the alt charge from the Justice isn't anything absurdly higher than the Outlaws. All they did was get one kill. So there's the dive coming in from Jangu onto the back line. Crimzo. What would Crimzo be? Oh. See how Crimzo gets baby. Oh, nice. Nice from the slam on from Jangu. Gets the kill onto Bebe from that. What the hell is Assassin doing? Okay, and they get closer. What the hell are you doing, dude? He's doing a great job of spy checking, but I don't know why Assassin went where he went. Does he have a translocator? So now the supports are kind of stuck in this bottom part. Piggy's gonna get D-Max, so now they're up. Trans is coming out from Bebe as Houston used both their support ultimates. Piggy gets hacked. And EMP comes out. They should take out Jangu. Nice. Bomb's gonna come out from Fury. Gets happy. I mean, Dante does get the kill on him, and Crimzo's behind, but he should die to Bebe or closer. Yep. Alright, so not bad by Justice here. I'm a little confused. There was a lot of slams from Jangu that just didn't seem like they were followed up by Dante. I could be wrong. You know, I'm not the greatest observer in these. I'm not, you know, super used to observing. So I'm gonna watch Dante for just a little bit here to see what kind of value he's getting and if he's coordinating these dives with Jangu. That's one of the important things in the APAC region. You're going to see a lot of pretty coordinated dives. He gets Assassin's translocator. Assassin does get the hack on him, and he goes down for it. So nice job by Assassin. We all know they're going to hold this, though. Oh, if you didn't know, they're going to hold this point. So I'm very interested to see how they do this. Happy's just putting a lot of consistent pressure onto the backline and Dante's back, so we're going to go watch him. Nice 8 by Fury. So he's just kind of posturing right now. Probably looking for the Sombra. Oh, Decay just goes on a corner with half health and gets obliterated by Happy and by Dante. Jangu just goes in and dies. Which, I mean, that's going to happen to Ball, but they didn't really gain any space or attention for it. Okay, nice bomb by Piggy. Gets closer and gets the mech Fury. Okay, I don't think that really matters if Jake gets killed there. Dante kills Decay. Alright, so nice job by Houston to defend that. They only really used Piggy's bomb, and Justice ended up using... Actually, they just used Decay's pulse as well, I believe. I don't know if Meg used... I don't think Meg used mines in that. Let's see what Jangu's doing in this. Because one of the things that was, you know, talked about a lot with the Justice, actually, was how Meg didn't do a lot in some of the team fights. He would... he didn't die that many times because he just wasn't going in. So you'd rather have a Wrecking Ball who's willing to die than one who's consistently just kind of sitting around and not doing anything. Happy did pop the visor. Alright, so that was a nice mines by Jangu. He forced the trans out of Bebe. Okay, see now there's like some coordination between Dante and Jangu, which I like to see, but the thing is, it's kind of like in the thick of this muddied up team fight, so it's not like, you know, they're not really doing a whole lot of set plays. Like I don't see Houston, and this is their defense, I suppose, but I mean if you watch Philly, you watch Seoul, you watch like Atlanta, you're gonna see a lot more set plays. Even Paris too. You see a lot more set plays with these. Are they just not gonna touch? How do they lose this? They have so many picks. Oh, I guess Django gets the mines. Actually, those are pretty impactful mines. Decay did kill himself with his own pulse bomb. If you saw it, I'm surprised they won that. It seemed like Justice had a lot of picks, but I guess they oops, sorry. I guess they did come through on the other side as well. So now we'll get to see how Houston end up taking this.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Okay, and Houston look like they're gonna.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds. Ready.
Shangu gonna roll out on the hog just to try to get a hook. Justice are sticking on the meta comp.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Okay,
Stop the payload.
nice little play. So no, okay, so now they're just mirroring. Happy's not on the soldier anymore, so it seems like that's something they like to do on defense. But yeah, let's see how exactly. I want to watch things from Bebe's perspective, because I want to see if he's gonna get picked, like if he's gonna get dove here or not. Bebe and Closer are positioned up on this high ground. Jangu's coming over, and then from behind, they're gonna have. Ooh. Wait. Alright, so I do like this by Happy, but it seems like the peel was just a lot better by the Justice, but there was a coordinated dive there, so I'm a fan of that. I like that that's something they were doing. Guess I'll watch a little bit of mag while we're on here. Justice don't look terrible on their defense here or anything. I couldn't really identify why they lost on. Actually, you know what? Something I haven't really noticed is any of Assassin's EMPs. Actually, did he even use EMP last map? So Bebe gets picked by that pulse on the floor. So that was a little mini dive between Dante and Happy. And then Jake gets the bash into Fury, demechs him. Assassin decides that he's gonna waste his EMP, even though they're like down the entire team. Yeah. That was not great. I mean, Crimson, he did get Crimson to use his, Crimson did use trans from that, so actually maybe it was worth it, because now they're re-engaging, and they got to pick onto Crimson. He couldn't trans to save himself. They're gonna have Rally though, and Closer did just use Rally, and they're gonna have EMP, so it's really important what Bebe is able to do with his trans here. in this next fight. See, and the thing I'll say about the APAC region with the Zarya comp, the great thing about having the Zarya and the Sombra is if you have a Zarya, as long as you know the grab doesn't get eaten, obviously, the now this is like a 2-for-1 trade, but if you're able to get EMP off, when EMP is pretty decently fast charging, it's not the fastest, like obviously, you know, pulse bomb is much faster, so if you could land a stick with a pulse, you'd prefer that, but that's harder to do. If you can get an EMP off and you force trans out of their Zen, and it's pretty much, you know, hasta la vista, you could just get a free grab, and they're not going to have trans for it. And obviously, the Zen is going to either have to choose, do I trans the EMP and then get grabbed, which, you know, they're not even sure might happen or not, or do I not trans the EMP, assuming they might have grab, and if I get hit by the EMP, I die. So it's not easy for a Zen to choose. Obviously, you're probably going to just trans the EMP. And that's why I like that. Versus here, if you get if you get EMP off, they're just going to transit, and you're not going to have that. Okay, I want to see that. You're not going to have anything really to follow up, like, immediately after. I mean, you could bomb or something, but, you know, it's an interesting change. I really like that from Dante and Happy. Very coordinated between all of them. That EMP goes down, they just obliterate the backline. I don't think that was needed by Jangu, I'm gonna be honest. They have a pretty clear numbers advantage. But still solid by the Outlaws, though they did use 4 alts after they killed 2. They killed the backline, and then they... Well, actually, maybe they didn't use Rally last fight. Maybe they didn't. So it would be 3. They killed the backline with EMP. Dante used his pulse to get rid of Mag. Jangu used his Mines on cart. Baby? Why? Okay. I got a question. So I know Dante is on closer right now. But buddy. Got 3 packs. Just whips one to a full health diva. He whips one to a full health baby. That's not great. I don't like that pack usage. It's not, it doesn't, I mean the healing will continue, yes, but I'm pretty sure there's an initial like burst heal and then it keeps healing. I could be wrong, but either way, you don't want to just send your packs to full health targets. I don't like that they were able to force trans with nothing. Because now they don't have trans, and Happy 70% to his EMP. Alright, well anyways, Assassin gets the EMP off. Forces trans out of Crimzo. Egg dies though, they get the hack on him, I'm assuming. I'm not gonna go back and look, I don't care that much. Nice bash by Closer to kill off Jangu, and Decay just decides he's gonna kill 2. Baby does go down, Decay kills 3 because, you know, Decay things. My god, this man. Is that 4? Did you kill 4 in this fight? Man, it's crazy. So, now they're gonna have... Actually, Bebe's doing a pretty good job building up this trans. Despite the mistake, using it so early. Well, it wasn't a mistake, but I guess it was more of a mistake by closer. Yeah, Fury gets another eat on Dante's pulse. Crimson kills closer. They're gonna kill Mag. They don't kill Mag, but they get Bebe.
30 seconds remaining.
When did Happy use EMP? It's pretty solid. Is there any follow-up? Is this when they kill Bebe? Oh. Sure Jenga would have liked to slam those stairs. Honestly, nice positioning by the Washington Justice, and nice eat by Fury there again. But nice positioning by the Justice that they get EMP, but they kind of just hole back into this this top area of the building. Closer has the rally, and it pretty much just negates Happy's EMP because they can't follow up on it. But doesn't Closer get killed here? Oh, nice boot by Janger. Closer did not want to be down there. Bebe was left, I'm assuming, alone up here. Okay, how's Assassin gonna use his EMP? I mean, probably not gonna be ideal because no one's alive. So he gets a lot. Not that they can really follow up on it though. Fury gets hacked, Fury gets demeched. Bomb comes through from Outlaws. Nice bomb. Pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, it's not... It was a dominant by the Outlaws on this map, and I was told that this series was pretty bad from the Justice. So that's interesting to me, that it's not as bad as I assumed. Now, that was the last map. I think I remember Blizzard World being pretty bad by Mag, just the Justice in general, with playing aggressively and taking tempo. So, you know, that's on them. But the Outlaws, it was all right. It wasn't like the best I've seen from that ball comp. It didn't seem like they were super aggressive themselves. There were definitely some set plays, so they definitely were playing more proactively than the Justice were. Now, we're going to go into this map against the Reign. And the Reign is a team who likes to play this Orisa comp. There's a couple variations of it. I think there's some where it's Zen Brig. There might be some where it's Zen Bap. In this one, they're playing Bap Mercy, and I really like this. This is pretty much the same comp that they played last. I think it was. Is that the last tournament or it was? Either in the May Melee or no, it's either in the June Joust or the Summer Showdown where they played this with an Ashe and a Tracer, I believe. Either that or an Ashe and a Torbjorn. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. There could be a third iteration that I'm not thinking of, but or maybe it was an Ashe and a Pharah. I don't know, but they seem to really know how to play this comp pretty well. And here's the Outlaws comp, and you might be thinking to yourself, why are they running out with Jake on the Baptiste? Because the Brig is going to allow you to give packs to your Tracer. It's going to allow you to give packs to your Wrecking Ball and your Diva. So it allows you to actually heal your tanks up pretty nicely. The Rally is super good for... Rally is just such a strong ultimate, but it's going to keep your Zen alive. It's going to allow you to keep yourself alive. And not just for, you can't kill a Rally, you have to kill the Brig. Baptiste, he's really good when he's behind a shield. He can put down that consistent damage when he's behind a shield, but he doesn't do as good of a job as protecting his Zen as, say, a Brig does. You don't synergize with the rest of your team when you're Baptiste in this specific comp. You're not going to really synergize at all with your tanks or your DPS, and you're not really protecting your Zen as much, and there's nothing to protect your Zen. There's no shield for your Zen to sit behind and whip out consistent damage with. And it's not like Brig gives a shield, but she does, give him more protection against dives, and she's just there. She can focus on healing multiple targets from a range, but by sticking by your Zen, if she gets her Inspire off, that's going to heal your Zen up. She's just a much better healer for this comp, and I really don't like Jake on the Baptiste. Now, that's probably not the only reason they lose this map, but it is a factor. So let's see how this all turns out. Happy is going to be on the Widow. Mickey's swapping off. He's going to go to the Tracer, and they're going to play... Now, this is the last map in the series. This might be a little bit of a Hail Mary. Kai is disgusting. Kai is a disgusting man. He's so good at this game. Let's see how he gets this kill. Ooh. Beautiful. But... And this just seems like a Hail Mary throw pick, to be honest. If you're gonna play this, right? If you're gonna play Dante on the Genji. First off, congratulations, because Pelican has almost no pressure. There's 3 people who can pressure him. You have Piggy, Crimzo, and Jake. And I don't think any of them are good at pressuring the Pharah in the way that you want. You're not going to have Jake consistently shooting a Pharah because it's not his job. He is a healer. Obviously as a support who can deal out damage, you do want to be pressuring people and trying to get kills if you can. But it's not your job. Crimzo, it's a lot harder to hit a flying object with projectile weapons than it is with a hit scan. So honestly, I'm not sure why Happy doesn't go over to, let's say, the McCree. I'm not sure why the Houston Outlaws don't just go over to a shield comp of their own to try to counter this Pharah. Or if they're so stuck on playing the dive, I don't know why, if they want to play the Genji, why they don't just play like a Winston. You could play Winston Diva with a Ana Brig backline. You could play Winston Zarya with an Ana Brig backline and play the Genji with you could play the Genji with the Tracer if you really wanted to. You could play the Genji with like a McCree even. It wouldn't be the best, but it wouldn't be horrible, and that would provide some pressure onto Pelican. Like, Pelican is just able to rain free damage from above. He's probably not going to get pressured really at all. Now, Atlanta are giving up a lot of space here, and as I say that, they are doing a really good job of pumping in the damage onto Pelican. Piggy is doing a good job of flying up to pressure him, and Crimson gets a pick. Gator's really low, and Happy is pressuring him, but look at that healing from Iris. That being said, like, oh my god, they are really trying to make this work. Look at that shot. That is a beautiful shot. I really wish that rocket would have hit. That would have been so cool. They're not doing a bad job of making this comp work. I still think this comp is flawed. But Jake, you know, he gets 2 picks on the map. Not a bad showing from this comp. At some point, I think we're going to see the holes in it. They decide to put Pelican over onto the Tracer. Actually, okay, so this is pretty much an entire comp swap from the Atlanta Reign, which is interesting to me because I really did think that their composition would just counter what the Outlaws are playing. Like, not countered exactly, but I think if you just have Kai on this Torbjorn, and you could even just put Pelican on. Well, I guess Pelican doesn't play McCree, but you could put Pelican onto the Tracer and just keep Gator on the Orisa. I really think that you'd have a lot of struggle from Houston to actually do anything with their comp against what they were playing, but I guess we'll see how that works out. Nice ultimate from Kai. This Molten Core is going to force out the trans, and then they're going to get some of the kills. In the back line, Happy kills Kai. Piggy knocks off. I don't know what the hell happened there. And they're just stalling out at this point. And I'm wondering if Gator is going to stay on this ball or not. This might have just been for stall. So maybe that's what it was. It was just for stall, and they're not going to stick with this. Because with Iris sticking on the Baptiste, I don't think that's what they're going to want to play full time. So we'll see if Gator stays on the ball or not. Maybe it's just Iris is on the... Okay, no. Gator goes back to the Orisa. Kai went Widow, probably just to try to get some picks at the end of that fight. I assume that Kai is going to go back to the Torbjorn. And this is the comp they're going to roll with. Oh, he's going to the McCree, actually. Oh, no. No, he's going back to the Torb. Aggressive window. Nice block by Masa onto that pulse bomb. They do get the team-mech on Hawk, but he uses bomb, gets it right back. Nice boot by Hawk to put some of them onto the back. Like, that was a great boot, and then Gator just got the kill right onto Grimzo. Iris gets Jake. Kai gets Dante, and... Well, I didn't even realize that Dante had swapped off of the Genji, but to be fair, I didn't really realize that Dante was on the Genji. Like, he got a kill, maybe, I think, but I think that was just kind of a throw pick, to be honest. Now the Outlaws are on a much better comp, except for the fact that Jake is still on break, and I really don't understand. I don't get if the idea is that they can break the shield easier with a BAP Zen backline. I would agree that they can break the shield easier, but I would also say that you would be easier to break the shield if you had Narissa, so you could protect your backline. And this isn't some new information that I'm spouting off here. Everyone has been saying that they're confused with why the Outlaws chose to play this BAP. And I don't like to say it's like one player is the reason, because Jake did really well on that first point. He actually got 2 picks. One of them was on the Pharah. Like I was saying that, you know, it's not going to be easy to kill the Pharah. Well, they killed the Pharmacy pretty easily. They made Atlanta swap their comp off of this Pharmacy. But it is such a glaring and obvious deviation from the regular comp that I have to wonder if it's worth it to play this. Because Jake has a really good break. I mean, they're keeping him in, obviously, because they think he's better than Juby. I just don't think that this is the comp that should be played. And Gator on the Orisa and the Atlanta Reigns comp, it's just like a such a clear and direct counter to the actual comp of that was a really good bomb engage by Piggy actually, but the Atlanta Reigns comp it does try to counter what the Outlaws would be playing if they had the Brig here, but it doesn't make it easier for the Outlaws to overcome this comp when they're on something that doesn't gel. Sorry about that. Like, even though the Atlanta Reigns comp is supposed to, it's an attempt to counter the ball comp, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work if you play the ball comp really well. It's just that I fear it's more difficult for them to play this comp with Jake on this Brig, or on this map instead of the Brig. So Peggy actually does get Hawk. Pulse Bomb misses from Pelican. This, the Torbjorn is a really good pick actually against Dante and Happy. It makes it much more difficult for them to dive just because they're going to get constant pressure on them from the turret. It also allows them to place it near Iris like you just did there. Place it near their backline so that it's harder for them to dive the backline. They do get Gator. That was a pretty good set of mines. Now they're going to take an aggressive position with that. Oh my god, there's a lot happening here. This is a pretty messy fight. They did use Jake's ultimate, but it seems that Atlanta had the advantage. Pelican gets a kill with the pulse. Happy gets a kill with the pulse as well, but Atlanta just trades kills and comes out on top. This would be a perfect time for Jake to stop playing the Brig, or the BAP, go onto the Brig, but he's not going to do it. I don't know why. I'd love to know why. I don't know if they said anything about why they were playing this comp. Like, look at all this poke damage they're allowed to just get in while the Outlaws has to cross this bridge. I don't know if the Outlaws are just allergic to playing the Orisa. That's the other thing. You can play the Orisa in this comp from the Outlaws. Works great too. I don't know if they're just allergic to playing the Orisa or if they really think this composition is the right call. Big EMP by Dante. They get Gator for it. Masa has the rally though. He's become a raid boss, but it only really hits him. He doesn't get it onto Iris at all. Gator is going to swap onto the ball just to try to touch. See how this bomb goes. Nice bomb. Forces trans. Happy does get... Alright, let's look at what's happening here. Happy does get Masa with the pulse. And now Happy's going to try and pressure Iris. Gator goes down to Dante. Look at how hard it is to dive this backline though. I mean, like, it takes a lot just to kill Iris there. Kai gets Crimzo. I remember that shot. Oh, Kai is just pounding, dude. Gator somehow dodged that out. I'm not entirely sure how that works. Nice bash from Masa. Stops Happy right in his tracks. And again, you really do have to wonder, is it the right call to play a comp that doesn't synergize with itself? And I know it's all I'm talking about, but it really is important. I mean, that's what compositions are in Overwatch. It's synergy. They're very important. I mean, this is a composition-based game. It's meta-dependent. Things are going to change. Heroes are played differently in different comps. Things matter differently. Like, you know, a Baptiste playing in a Rush comp with a Reinhardt and a Lucio focuses on a lot of different things in comparison to the Baptiste playing in this comp. or even when they're going against Sapphire, his focus had to be
Ready for battle.
somewhere else. I mean, I just I don't think it's the right call. And they're gonna play it on the defense. And are they really gonna run out with Happy on the Widow here?
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
They are. They're gonna run out with Happy on the Widow here.
Peace be upon you.
Let's see what Happy gets done here. See, I really think Rialto is a shield-based map, or at least it is for second, like that bridge. It's so hard to cross that bridge without a shield,
Attackers
or without people who can play fast.
stop the payload.
I mean, this is just not great. It's not Happy's like playing poorly. Like he gets a pick on the Kai there. I just think he's not getting as much value as he needs to be, and it's not like he's playing bad. It's just that you're putting yourself in a position where you need to. You've got to fuck. If you're not fucking on this hero, you're not. You're pretty much wasting your time, unfortunately, with the composition you're playing right now, and he just goes down for it. Great bomb engage and the pulse at the same time from Pelican and Hawk. It pretty much forces them to play in a position where that bomb's going to get a kill. Also, they used it right as the immortality field went down from Jake. And now Houston have used both their support ultimates. Kai went over to the soldier, which I don't hate, because there's not as much pressure from. There's no Sombra, so there's not as much pressure. Happy is going to go over to the Hanzo, which I just can't say I love it. I just can't say I love anything about this composition from the Outlaws. It seems like a very confused comp. It really doesn't feel like they know what the choices they're making are the correct ones. Like, you're going to be putting down a lot of pressure onto the shield if you're playing this Hanzo, right? You put a lot of pressure onto the shield and put a lot of pressure onto Gator and Hawk. And that's the idea, I suppose, by playing the Hanzo. But I think you're going to make it more difficult on yourself to play that Hanzo without some sort of shield. And you can play the Hanzo without a shield, and it's fine. But how much value is your ultimate going to get with the Hanzo without anything to synergize it with? And wouldn't this composition just work better if you had a shield? I feel like it would. I feel like it'd work way better. Now, they are getting kills, though. Crimzo just went on a tear, just absolutely deleting 2 people and pretty much all but deleting Gator himself. So it's not that they're, it's not that the Outlaws are mechanically bad, and obviously they can still win these fights. They're still a good team. I just really hope that they figure some things out next week, which would be their match against the Florida Mayhem, and then I believe they're also going against the Gladiators next week. And that's going to be a tough match. I mean, Florida look like they're getting better. Jangu just goes in and dies. I'm sure he wish he had a pack. Or a bubble. Hawk eats Dante. I'm gonna be real, I have no idea what's happening right now. I have no idea what happened. What's happening? I'm not even touching the mouse. Is it still gonna do it? What the heck? Alright, well, despite whatever that is... Hold on, let's go back a little bit here. Too much confusion from that. I'm just gonna go over and watch Pelican. No, watch Pelican absolutely wreck house. Pelican's tracer is so good. Kai goes over to the Hanzo as well. I didn't even notice that he swapped off the soldier, went over to the Hanzo, which I am fine with. I think he thought that Jenga was gonna dash forward, or he was gonna go forward. See, like, here's the thing. What's your win condition from this? What is your win condition if you are the Outlaws? I just want to look at this comp for a second. When they were all alive, make it look, you know, nice and easier. Okay. I can't zoom in. Actually, no, maybe I can. Let's see if I can zoom in. Alright, that's as zoomed as it's gonna get. What is your win condition if you are playing this comp? You've got Pulse Bomb, which is, it's like, okay, when you play a comp, you want to make it easier than harder. Like, playing really difficult comps to get value out of are always going to be, like, obviously if you're a team that can get value out of an extremely difficult comp, and this comp is actually better than comps that are easier. Like, it's very difficult, but if you can play it perfectly, then it, like, works. That's great, but if you're not playing perfectly on a comp that's super difficult to get value out of, obviously you want to play one that makes more sense and is easier and has easier win conditions. This comp, it's basically asking, okay, Dante, you have to get a pulse stick. Either A, we have to get picks. That's one thing that could happen here. You have to get picks in the comp. I mean, it's any comp. You have to kill people. But without ultimates, you know, the neutral game of this comp is kind of weird because there's, like, Django and Dante can dive together, but Happy is just, you know, free firing onto the Rain, who have a shield, who have a diva, who at this point have a Mercy, who can get a res, and they have you know, a lot of damage coming from their side as well, with Kai on the onto the Hanzo himself. So the neutral game is strange because, you know, Jake is also on this Baptiste. So it's not like the dive is going to be super strong because now Happy's not even on the Sombra and Jake's on the Baptiste. So I guess you could say at least there's some more synergy there, because when Jake uses his ultimate like he does here, Happy can fire through that. But if you have the original comp of the Tracer Sombra, Zen Brig, and the Ball Diva, obviously your biggest win condition is the EMP, but with a dive-centric comp, the EMP is really good because you use EMP and then, you know, half of your team jumps onto the enemy team very easily. They can get there extremely quickly, and it works much better. In this comp, you're asking, like I said, Dante has to get a pulse bomb. Doesn't really work with anyone else. He just has to do it. Happy has to get a dragon somewhere with, you know, like if Piggy was on the Zarya here and they were on like a comp that made more sense, at least there'd be grab dragon, but they don't have that win condition. Django's mines have to be good, but they have, you know, immortality field, and Jake has to get a window in a position where they can pour down a lot of damage, and then Crimzo's ult is just to keep them alive. Like, there's not any clear win condition for them, I feel, in terms of their ultimates, and then their neutral game is is somewhat scattered. It doesn't seem like it works as well with itself. So I am really just hoping that for the next week, when they decide to play, that they choose a comp that makes more sense than the ones they're playing. And I know that everyone and their mother has talked about how the Outlaws aren't playing a great comp and that it doesn't make much sense. But I just would like to reiterate this because I think it's important that, it could be a coaching thing. It could be just the players feel that this is the best way to try to deal with them. I'm not sure what it is. I think the Outlaws have a really solid squad of players. I think they also have a pretty solid coaching staff. So I think they'll be able to get over this hurdle, and I'm sure they've been practicing pretty strongly. I don't think they played this weekend actually. So I'm sure they've had a lot of time to practice and figure out what they want to play. Whether they go down the Atlanta Reign road of things and play the more shield centric compositions or not, I don't know. But yeah, that is my review of these two maps from the Outlaws. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it's a bit long and I went on a couple of tangents, but maybe I'll make another one when play-ins start. Maybe I'll make another one when the actual Countdown Cup happens in Hawaii. I don't know, but we'll see. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.